Hello everyone. Welcome to the 36th episode of The Ruins of Warsaw. I'm Alexandra and I'm the storyteller.
Hi, I'm Dolores and I'm playing Janina of Clan Bruja.
Hi, my name is Faye and I'm playing Beatrice Wozniak of Clan Malkavian.
And as always, we have partners helping us with tech and acting as Keeper of the Elysium. Thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of this story. Just to do a quick recap, last time, Janina woke up to find her sire, Daniel, beat up, slightly wounded, although not seriously, but seriously troubled and depressed. And he expressed that he was hunting down, together with Elka, the hound, some of the new shovelheads embraced by the Sabbat, which left him feeling a lot of guilt, and while not having really a solution, feeling guilty for still hurting those people who were victims. After interactions with Daniel, Bea, troubled by nightmares yet again, although this time they did not overtake her entire night, woke up and with Janina went to receive their task, which turned out to be investigating what remained of the Tremere Chantry of Warsaw, the task given to them by Clan Venture and Edwin Sarnowski, a Tremere they recently brought back to Camarilla. They went with Edwin's child, Joachim, who drove them there, and explored the ruins. Janina dealt with a servant of Azimishi, a suspected servant of Azimishi at least, observing the area, draining him of his blood in the end, and feeling crushing guilt for having done so. Bea, with Joachim, explored further the place of strange geometries, of some words that were still active, of reality seeming twisted, the place that filled her with dread and disgust, but managed to gain some insight into what happened through disturbing visions, fire, bombs, some fighting, a figure, not quite human, tall figure, walking in. And after exploring the ruins, Bea and Joachim, troubled by the whole experience, left and reunited with Janina, troubled by her own deed, and got back into the car to drive back to Hotel Bristol, having put the body of the killed man in the boot of a car. And he's still there as you are driving away from what used to be the Chantry. You see Joachim is taking a longer roundabout way. He seems to look very carefully outside, taking some sharp turns, then driving really slowly, stopping for a moment, appearing to listen. At some point, he turns to you, switching on the radio. You hear some classical music playing. Gives you a faint smile. I know I seem very paranoid, but then, I suppose, better that than be sorry.
Exactly. I'm still sitting with my hand in Janina's hand, as much as it's making me a little uncomfortable, and I feel like she needs it, but I give him an understanding of slightly tense smile.
I'm probably just looking out of the window as we... Right.
Joachim looks to you for a bit longer, Janina, but he doesn't comment. He turns back to the front of the car, continues driving in this roundabout way. Janina, what are you doing? What are you thinking?
I'm probably trying to think about what happened and probably think about the body that is still in the car and what's gonna happen to him. Like, is he going to be buried or not? And just maybe also about the bed. Like, trying to think about something more positive. And then maybe I try to concentrate on Bea's holding my hand, because it's calming me down, grounding me.
And you're driving. Him takes another sharp turn. You sway a little bit in your seats, but he's not driving super fast. He's visibly taking a very confusing, sometimes even a bit in circles, drive. The music ends on the radio, switching to a program about missing people in Warsaw, and announcements about some people searching for their loved ones.
I'm listening quite intently to the radio. There's strange on the radio.
You do, and those announcements also seem familiar. They were somewhere there before, not the thing you were waiting for, but before or after. And you're listening. There's various people looking for their children, for their brothers, sisters, friends, wives, husbands, fathers, mothers. And you turn to another street and another street. It is a quiet night, quite clear one. The ruins are visible in the moonlight. And you hear, listening, focused on the program, announcement. And you hear it too, Janina. Well, maybe less focused. Kasper Woźniak is looking for his missing wife, Bea Woźniak. And you hear a description of a red-haired woman in her 30s, mid-30s. She would be rather short. An description matching Bea. Went missing at the beginning of the war. If anyone has any information on her whereabouts or on her fate, please get in touch. Our number is, and there is a string of numbers being read.
I look at Bea, like, as soon as I heard the name, like, my attention, like, concentrates on that, and I turn sharply to Bea and, like, wait if she, like, looks at me as well.
There's a good few seconds where I'm just sitting staring at the radio, And then I will turn and look at Janina with the sort of expression of, I wasn't expecting this.
You look to each other and you hear, once again repeated, please help Mr. Wozniak find his wife.
And if I can react quickly, I will, if they are repeating the numbers, I will quickly tell Bea to write them down to her journal.
They would repeat the numbers, yes. It's the same number they're repeating over and over. It's
I'm
clearly
just like,
not the number
quick, write them
for
quick.
the man. It's the number for the radio to get in touch with them.
I kind of mechanically write it down. Kind of taken completely aback and completely by surprise. And I do so.
And you do so, and then announcement moves on to looking for another person, Beata Wudecka, somebody's sister, and the string of names continues. Joachim looks to you, Bea, curiously as well, but he doesn't comment. He's more curious than anything.
If Bea still holds my head, I will squeeze it tightly.
I flinch a little bit, but will squeeze back after a second. My mouth is still slightly slack, and I'm not necessarily hiding the fact that this has genuinely taken me aback.
I'm also very surprised, but I'm like more in like positive way. Like I'm not like as taken aback as Bea. I'm just like there's like part of me that is excited.
What are you excited for? For learning more about Bea?
For her to meet someone from her past. And I don't know if she was going to want to meet them, but like that she has someone that cares for her outside of us, and that there is a chance that she could maybe remember something from her past. And there's just like part of me that is happy for her to find a part of herself.
How are you feeling, Bea?
Kind of like the floor fell out from underneath my feet. This was not what I expected. I have never really, it's not that I haven't thought about whether I had a life before, but because I couldn't picture anything, the fact that there's now a name and their relationship to me, I was married. I don't know what to do with this. I've got it noted down, but I'm just surprised. And there's a little feeling of dread of I don't want this to lead to anyone getting hurt.
Joachim doesn't inquire, although he glances towards the both of you curiously on a few occasions. And you cross moonlit ruins and eventually arrive. Not quite at the Hotel Bristol, but in the general area where he parks a car into one of the side streets. Turns to you and says, I think it will be safer to park here for now. We can walk the remaining way.
Of course.
I try and compose myself. And
is there anything else I should know? I will go and report to my sire. You do not need to come.
I think I relayed everything I could to you. I don't think so.
Yes, it's burnt in my head now.
Sorry about that.
Needed to be done. Don't worry.
Well, I hope that it goes smoothly, and let me know if there's anything else I can do.
Of course, I'm sure my sire will. Janina, anything else you can tell me about the man? And he sort of gestures towards the back of a car. His head.
I maybe for a moment, like with excitement over Bea's lost husband, I forgot, and then when he glances, I remember, I remember it, and there's like a string of anxiety and pain. I sigh and I just shake my head. I don't think there is anything else. He's dead, and just that we saw him in the Tsimichi house the other night.
I will definitely convey that.
He was able to speak to the bat, so presumably some form of a ghoul.
I assume so.
Right, well, best of luck.
To the both of you as well. I'm sure I'll see you around.
Indeed.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And he steps out of the car now.
Also do so.
Yeah.
He locks it, kind of shakes the keys, looks to you, Janina, to you, Bea. If you ever want to learn, let me know. I might have a free moment to show you. And he throws the keys back into the pockets.
That's very kind, thank you.
Slightly waves at you, gives you a smile.
Smile back and then turn to Janina. Oh.
As we are walking, I'm trying to... I will just like, do you want to talk about it?
I don't know.
Do you want to do anything about it? Will you tell Felicia about this?
Oh God. I don't know. I'll admit I'm curious, but I don't know if it would be a good idea to do anything with this.
I know we don't really have a good like history of talking to people from our past, but if you're curious, maybe we can arrange at least something from afar, so you could at least like see that person.
I don't know, that there's a part of me that if it makes me remember something, is it going to make me feel less settled here? Is it going to make me want to go back to that?
Well, it's up to you. I don't know how it is for you to feel like you don't remember your past, so
it was one. Sorry.
So it's okay. I just wanted to say that if you want to figure out what to do, I'm always here for you, and I will support you in anything that you will choose. But if I can, maybe don't tell this to Felicia. Don't write it in your journal. I will tell, and I will remember it for you.
I mean, I've already written it in my journal, but
all right.
But I'll maybe try and put it out of my mind for now.
Of course.
What sort of time is it in the evening?
It's fairly late. I'd say it's way past sort of halfway through the night.
Okay.
It's not quite coming to morning yet, but it's definitely like second half of the night. You have a few hours to do something if you'd like to do something.
Okay. I kind of glance back down at my notebook. Do you want to talk about what happened earlier?
Well, I don't know what to talk about. He was an enemy. We were tasked to kill him, so I did it. But I feel a bit bad because he wasn't kindred. I mean, he served them, but I guess there's part of him that was still human, and it wasn't maybe much of his choice. Maybe he also had a family somewhere. But I don't know what to talk about. There's nothing I can do to bring him back to life.
I'm sorry that it hurts you. And
I know. Thank you.
it's unfortunate that he ended up working for them, whether it was by his choice or not.
Yeah.
I pause, sort of thinking about that and trying to see this from Janina's perspective. It's not something I probably would have considered normally. Do you want to try and do something to distract ourselves for a bit?
Well, I think we both deserve some distraction, so of course. Let's avoid responsibilities and consequences for a moment.
That would be nice. I've got a note that Daniel's needing his shirt.
Oh, yes.
We could see if we could find some fabric or something, and I could maybe make something. Or if we can find a spare one somewhere.
Okay. Do you want to look at the hotel, or?
I guess. I'm not entirely sure where to start. Would I? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no, just to sort of throw in some info. Janina, you would know that if you were looking for a spare one, you could steal one from the laundry room at the hotel. They will definitely have some.
Okay. Okay, then I will relate this plan to Bea.
Shirt heist. Fair enough. Shirt heist it is.
At least this sounds like something a bit fun, distracting.
All right. If stealing laundry is your idea of fun, then, well, I can certainly make a go of it if you want.
At least it's not gonna hurt anyone.
So whoever shirt
hope.
it is.
Well, that's something I'm willing to risk.
Fair
Daniel
enough.
needs a new shirt.
Okay. Yes, we'll go find the laundry room.
Okay, so you head back to the hotel. Janina, you worked in various hotels and restaurants, hence that's why I assume you would know. And I think based on that, from your experience, you could roll your wit and alertness, difficulty 7 to see if you could have figured out where more or less it's going to be.
What is the difficulty?
7.
I have 3 successes minus 1, so 2 successes.
Yeah, so based on just being at the hotel and passively observing what goes on there, now that you think about it, you think you have a rough idea in which part laundry room must be, where people were heading from with some freshly washed stuff, and where they were carrying clothes and bedding that needed to be cleaned.
Okay. So let's pretend that we belong there.
I could get in without being seen.
All right, that's a good idea. I was thinking about it like a few minutes ago, but now then I forget that you can do that.
I should teach you to do that at some point.
Oh yeah, you definitely should.
Oh,
So I will relate to the general area where I think it is, and I'm going to be on the lookout.
Okay. Following her instructions, I'll first try and get into a sort of shaded corner or something and activate obfuscate, and then break into a laundry room.
All right, so you can hide easily enough with obfuscate. And you start walking in the direction Janina indicated. Janina, how far back are you staying? What are you doing while all this is going on?
I'm probably stay somewhere where it's not like suspicious, or like where I still can like pretend that I'm a guest and just like not being.
Okay, so you just stay sort of in the corridor outside.
Yeah.
Because you can't really go into service corridors, like these areas of the hotel, and pretend to be a guest. But Bea, you go in and you sort of wander around a bit. You don't know exactly where to go. It will. I'm not gonna say it will take you a moment, but you can locate a room through just examining the area. With Janina's instructions, you will eventually find a room where you see someone just disappear inside with a load.
Can I slip in after them?
Roll your stealth and wits with difficulty 7.
Okay.
Would be fun if you failed.
Let's not. I have 1 success.
Yes, barely. You managed to get inside after a woman who is going to start washing. Well, she's going like somewhere deeper in, but where you enter, you see there are some baskets of freshly laundered bedding. There is some clothing hanging around. There are some shirts.
Okay. If I find a shirt that looks to be his size, then I'll grab that, or one that's a little bit bigger, because I can always alter it if need be.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll for that. You can grab a big enough shirt. Not much problem with that. The woman disappeared deeper into start washing some of the stuff or deposit it. You can grab a shirt.
Try and slip back out without being noticed.
I think roll wits and stealth for that.
Yes, shirt theft.
Difficulty 7 again.
I have 2 successes this time.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Then I'll kind of fold it over. I'll fold it over my arm, trying to make it look like a scarf or something like that, and then wander back along to Janina.
Okay. Meanwhile, Janina, you are waiting for Bea to come back from this escapade. You are in the corridor, and still a downstairs bit of the hotel. What are you doing? What are you thinking as you're waiting?
Well, I'm probably like walking around, but trying not to like be nervous. I just like walk like peacefully, slowly pacing here back and forth and glancing towards the corridors where Bea disappeared, until I just pretend to look around, maybe look around people, but just like casually, like I'm like pretending that I'm waiting for someone.
So as you're doing that, you see Nastya, who's just entered back into the hotel, and is looking a bit tense, walking rather quickly.
I watch her. If she notices me, then I will wave at her.
Let's see.
I'm not gonna like come towards her, but if she notices me, and
just lurk from a distance.
she does notice you. And she kind of is almost startled and surprised.
I smile at her.
You smile at her, and she relaxes a little bit and kind of waves back.
Is she coming near me, or is she like...
She starts sort of slowly heading towards you.
Okay.
Roll perception and empathy. Difficulty 6.
Okay. 1 success.
1 success. Right, so you do not see much beyond her being kind of nervous and surprised to see you. Like she took a moment to sort of like come back from whatever thoughts she was lost in. And she's coming towards you, a bit hesitant, but also smiles now. A little bit more reassured.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Are you alright?
I think so. I feel a bit nervous. Not sure why.
Did something happen?
No, I was feeding and not that I can think of, no. I just feel unsettled for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Maybe it has something to do with what Bea saw around you in the Zygmunt.
Maybe. I don't really know what to make of that.
Yeah, but it's good to stay vigilant. And
I try to. I don't... No, nothing happened. I was just feeding. And you see her sort of struggling almost to go through everything, in her head that happened. But like, no, maybe it's to do with that.
Do you want to spend the evening with me and Bea? The rest of the night.
That could be nice, yes.
Okay, we are on a mission right now. Bea is stealing a shirt from me, and I whisper it to her, or Daniel.
She laughs a little bit and raises her eyebrows. You're stealing a shirt.
Yeah.
What the hell, why not?
I mean, it's not like Daniel has money to buy himself a new one, and honestly, I don't think he would if he even had the money, so we are making him a gift.
Great gift.
I guess he'd appreciate one stolen from a fancy hotel.
Yeah, definitely.
Around this time, Bea, you come back and you see Nastya sort of laughing with Janina. Please roll your perception and occult. Difficulty 7.
Poor Nastya. Let the girl live. Or unlive her unlife.
Ooh, does insightful apply?
No, I don't think necessarily in this case.
Okay, 4 successes.
4 successes.
Mm-hmm.
So you step out and you see them sort of laughing and talking to each other. And what's your first thought in that moment as you see them?
I'm happy to see Nastya. She brings sort of positive feelings to me. Happy to see Janina happy.
And about at this moment, as that thought appears, you see a shadow. First you think it's a shadow cast by one of them, but it grows, looking almost like a person, reaching and leaning over towards Nastya, wrapping arms around her, reaching into her, wrapping itself or themselves around her and over her, and she's just still smiling, talking to Janina, not realizing any of it. But you feel this instinctive fear looking at it, and a sense of danger.
Okay. Do I feel like it's in her head or in her at all? Or is it more just sort of around?
Well, it is reaching into her.
It is reaching into her.
Let's call exorcist.
I would like to use telepathy and try and see into her head. Spend that last point of willpower.
Of course. Yes, sure. Roll your intelligence and subterfuge with difficulty 6.
Okay. Let's find out.
Just to be clear, it will pick up what's in her head. At the moment, you can try to probe for something specific as well if you want.
Well, I'll see how it goes first, and then I'll.
Yeah.
Difficulty 6. Okay. That is 2 successes.
So let's say 2 things you can sort of glance at.
Okay. Can I see anything that's manipulated her head, or something that's hidden something in her head?
How would you know?
I don't know. Looking. It's almost like looking to see if someone's put a curtain over a section, I guess is what I'm after. Or if not.
I don't think you can quite discern that with this power quite so specifically onto successes.
Yeah, no, it's not a problem. Whether she knows anything more about about this sort of shadow, whether she knows anything about that she's not informed us of.
You don't see anything about the shadow. You notice her fear about it.
Okay.
That she is thinking about what you told her.
Okay.
It is somewhere in her head nagging at her.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that she is wondering whether it is connected to some other stuff that's been happening with her that she's not sure about. But I would say on 2 successes, you don't really get what it exactly is.
Okay. So still standing in the corridor, still using obfuscate. I quickly note that down in my journal and put some sort of exclamation marks and then close it and try and put my face on, I guess, and look more relaxed as I approach.
Just give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and you approach.
And kind of as I walk behind Janina, drop obfuscate and just sort of appear at her elbow.
Nastya looks to you, sort of startled at first.
I give a slightly mischievous smile.
It went well.
Success.
I heard you were stealing a shirt.
You've dubbed me in it, I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
the poor man's got holes in his.
Yeah, let's go to our room and we can look at it.
All right.
I look a little embarrassed about it.
You can come
Nastya
with
looks
us.
a bit. Are you sure it's okay if I tag along?
I look at Bea, and if Bea says yes, and I smile, and the 3 of us are going to our room with our loot.
She smiles, looking a bit more reassured now.
A living sense of dread.
What are you thinking about, Bea?
Concerned. I'm wondering what this thing is that seems to have this sort of deep-seated thing in her. There's alarm bells of something in the back of my head that I can't place, and I don't have the willpower to force through. But something is giving me bad vibes, and it's making me very uneasy. And I'm worried for her, and I like her. I don't want her to be in danger, and I don't want for her to inadvertently put us in danger. So I kind of want to discuss this with someone, but I don't know who. My brain jumps to Antoni for a moment, but then I kind of shrug it off.
We put so much on the
bothered him enough. So I'm just kind of quietly worrying.
Nastia is looking more reassured now, walking with you towards your room. And you get there without, encountering much else in the way. You are inside.
Daniel's not here?
No, Daniel's not here yet.
I will take the shirt out of Bea's hands and I expect it. Inspected, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
It's a white shirt. Very well,
white. Not for long.
Very white, very well washed. You see it, you think it's a shirt that would be worn by some of the staff, the waiting staff, in the cafe, or in the restaurants of the hotel. It's very nice, nondescript, elegant, but not fancy.
Okay. That's good. And I will fold it neatly and place it on the spare bed.
I double check it first to make sure there's not a label of a name in the inside of it or anything.
No, there's nothing like that.
Okay. Well. And once he has a spare one to change into, maybe he'll let me mend the damn other one.
Yeah, well, if you think it's salvageable.
It was not necessarily salvageable. It was pretty. It didn't have holes in it. It was actually torn.
Right.
You could try make something out of it, but yeah.
A stolen shirt.
Turn back to Nesta. Have you been busy this evening?
Not really. Went to feed. I try to stay inside as much as I can. And you told me all those things.
Has something been happening? You seem a little on edge.
Well, you told me there was something after me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quite know what to make of it. And good perception and empathy.
Okay.
You can as well, Janina.
What is the difficulty?
6.
Does insightful apply?
Yeah. I assume you're looking pretty closely.
Yeah. 4 successes.
How many did you have, Janina?
2.
2. Okay. So Janina, you see that she hesitates at this moment, and there is something more she maybe wants to tell. But she's not sure. She doesn't quite feel comfortable. Bea, you do see clearly that when you ask it, she is surprised that you ask it. She gets a little bit defensive. And you see underneath it, she's considering whether to tell you, but she doesn't feel entirely comfortable with you specifically, much less than with Janina. She's much less comfortable with you than with Janina.
That's fair.
And she kind of holds it back, and
okay.
And sort of it's not necessarily that she's purposefully hiding something. She seems kind of worried mostly about what will happen she tells you, and what you might think of that. And yeah.
I give her a gentle smile and say to her, I just want to make sure you're safe.
I will place my hand on her shoulder and you're friends. You can trust us. Promise. Is everything all right?
If you want, I can wait outside if you'd rather just talk to Janina.
She's probably going to tell you anyway, isn't she?
And I chuckle. Well, I can assure you can trust Bea. She's my sister, and I trust her with everything. And
Janina.
You can as well.
Well, persuasion and charisma. Difficulty 7.
Okay. Trust them, Alcavian. Nothing bad has ever come of that.
2 successes, 2 8.
Nice.
2 successes. Okay. So she kind of, all right, but I'm really not sure if it is anything.
Well, tell us anyway. There is nothing like too much information.
Well, I don't know. I think it depends. I'm not sure. Sometimes I don't quite. I'm not quite sure who I am sometimes. Like some things are off. I don't know if that makes any sense. I feel alien with myself.
Does it feel like something that I feel when I experience like Noah inside of me?
Well, it's difficult to, exactly pinpoint from the description. You could definitely, like Janina could definitely make that association that when you get Nella's memory, it feels like you are someone else, and then you remember that it's actually not you. So it's definitely something that you could link to this.
Okay. So, did you ever, drank someone, other kindred, completely?
No, I don't think so.
Because that's what I kind of sometimes feel, like there are memories of someone else inside of me. And
you see, she kind of looks worried at that, at that thought. There's something familiar about it, but I don't know.
And I look at Bea, my eyes are asking if she maybe tries, if she knows anything, something to help remember or dig deeper.
Does this sound like anything I've ever heard of before?
Okay, it's difficult to discern.
Yeah.
It sounds a little bit like your memory loss and you're not recognizing some of the things you've experienced. I think that would be the most obvious association.
Okay.
For Bea, some kindred can mess with memory. Sometimes, I think you would know that some people can, try not to remember something or repress something.
Yeah, I've definitely never done that before.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there isn't really, with what you've heard at least so far, there isn't really a way to pinpoint exactly what it is. These are some things. And something like, well, what Janina mentioned about having these memories also seems like it could be it. But I would say with what you've been given so far, at least.
Yes, no, absolutely.
That's sort of various thoughts that might appear.
Is she standing or sitting?
She's standing. She's kind of looking very sort of awkward, kind of holding her body with her hands very tense.
Yeah, and I'm holding her by the shoulders of my hand.
She relaxes a little bit at your touch.
I go and sit down on the bed and just kind of sit relatively casually, but with a little bit of a concerned look on my face, and like more concerned for her than like of her. And sort of, I mean, I've sometimes had times where I've gotten confused about events and whatnot, but I have a feeling that's more to do with my lineage than anything else. Is there... You're close with the Bruja Primogen? Is this something you could maybe discuss with them? If you're worried about it?
Not sure how he will react. I don't want to get in trouble.
Why would you get in trouble? I'm sure he would just wanted to help you.
I don't know. People are very paranoid.
That's fair.
I don't want to set off anyone's paranoia.
Well, you can always talk to us about this. And if you maybe need someone to go with you, if you ever want to talk about it with someone else, you can count on me.
I might. How well do you know the Primogen, Janina?
Well, we had very relaxed conversations, very personal. I think he knows. Well, I don't think I ever lied to him. I just told him everything that happened.
Let's be honest, Janina, you do that with most people.
I know.
That is true.
I guess I just don't care what they think about me. I
give her a fond, if a little exasperated smile. Well, if you want, I could always ask around. Coming from a Malkavian, it might not raise as many eyebrows. Or it might raise more, who knows.
Don't tell them it's about me.
No, of course not.
I've tried to speak to the Primogen. I'll try to work up the courage. I wouldn't want him to think less of me.
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't. He isn't that kind of man, from what I had seen.
And if you need anyone to speak up for you in regards to your character, happy to do so. I've not got a massive amount of political sway, but I'm at least have a decent relationship with some of Clan Ventru, so...
Yeah, you do indeed.
But
it's good. You should hold on to that if you can.
Oh, I'm trying, but...
What I figured try to hold on to Mr. Ray.
But genuinely, I don't want anything to happen to you.
The same goes for you.
Thank you. Shall we move on to more pleasant topics rather than creeping parents?
And what do you suggest?
I don't know. What do people talk about these evenings? I feel like it's all doom and gloom.
Well, Matias is me and Janina, where she was teaching me about these methods of storing blood. I was translating things for her.
If you want, we can work a bit more on that the next night. I don't think we have anything with Bea. Do we?
I don't. I pick up my notebook, open it up. My face slightly falls as I see the note that I need to go to Felicia tonight. I don't think we have anything on for tomorrow, but I'll leave you to it. I've just remembered I've got something else I need to do tonight.
Can I remember that about Felicia?
Yes, I think you can. Like, I don't think this is, a very difficult thing, unless you think Bea that it would be. Bea would try to hide it, or
I think there was kind of this obvious sort of
yeah. I think you can. Yeah.
Okay, then do you want me to go with you to Felicia? Are you sure? I mean,
it's fine.
I really don't want you to leave you alone with her when you're upset. Are you sure you don't want me around?
It's all right.
Or we
I
can
go to her.
Or we can come up with some excuse why you're here.
It's fine. Go to her. It's been too long. I need to go to her.
Can I find out if Bea's really if it's fake courage for me to not feel bad for leaving her alone with Felicia, or if she's honest?
Roll perception and empathy. Bea, are you trying to hide some of your feeling?
Not really.
Not really. Okay, so difficulty 6, Janina.
I have 1 success.
What is sort of main general vibe of Bea?
There is this need to be closer to Felicia, this need to go back to her, pulling at her. There's maybe some trepidation behind that, but there's mostly this need, as the blood bond is pulling me, but that's likely not obvious.
All right, if you really want to be alone with Felicia, I will let you. But don't let her make you feel guilty. Right?
I'll do my best. Have a pleasant evening, and maybe don't tell Daniel that I stole the shirt.
Okay, I won't tell him that you stole it. I will tell him that you sue it.
Or if you do, it was at least your idea.
I don't think he's the type to mind.
Fair enough. You at least take some of the responsibility for it.
Okay. All right. Don't worry.
With a little wave, I exit the room, and once the door closes behind me, the smile slightly fades. And I
probably look a bit worried on the door as she leaves. Just well.
Okay, so let's deal with that first. Nastya looks to you. What's going on there?
Oh, well. There have been some. They had some problems. I mean, it's a long story, but I think they're both hurt with each other, but both are trying to pretend that they are not. And I think Felicia hurt Bea because Bea hurt her, but to be fair, Bea didn't do it. Bea did it with a good intention. She tried to protect Felicia, but it's a long story. I hope they figure it out. But
I hope so too.
Felicia is a bit. I don't know how to phrase it. A bit controlling, maybe, towards Bea, because I don't know, this few nights that we were alone with Bea was just different. Bea felt more free, and I don't know, it just feels like she wants to always please her, and then when they hurt each other, it's just, on the one side I think it hurt Bea, but on the other side I think it also gave her a bit of freedom that she didn't have before. Well, yeah, I hope they figure it out, and
I hope so.
It's really a long, messy story. So, do you want to continue with our books? I mean, we have them.
Yes, happily, if you'd like.
Yeah, of course.
And she sort of moves to the bed. Can I?
Of course. Feel at home.
She sits down and I can keep translating if you.
Yeah, sure.
You can tell me what it all means.
All right, and I will sit next to her with my legs on the bed as well.
And she starts again going through, putting aside some of the papers she's already read to you. She opens some others and is reading to you. Occasionally glancing up, asking, I don't understand any of that. And you can usually explain your intelligence and medicine. Again, difficulty 8, I would say, for that.
Okay, I have 1 success.
1 success. So yeah, it's it's new stuff to you, but you can follow. You don't always have to can explain everything straight away. Sometimes you have to think about it some more. Sometimes you have to write it down to kind of connect to some other materials later and go through it again. But you are able to provide her some explanations, and you begin to gain a deeper understanding of this whole process. What are you thinking about as all of this is happening?
Well, when she's asking questions, then I try to concentrate on that, but occasionally my mind slips towards everything that happened tonight. The man, also, I a bit worry about Bea in the other room, about Nastya and her worries. I think maybe I glance, when she's not looking, I'm looking at her and I worry about her. But when she asks me about questions, then I try to follow the translations and make sense, because sometimes it maybe takes me a moment to get back in that mindset, because I'm worried about other things, but otherwise it's everything all at once.
And you sit with her, and she's reading to you from those texts you got from the. Meanwhile, Bea, you said your expression changes as you leave the room.
Yeah, I paused for a moment to make the notes about what Nastya said, then put my notebook back in my pocket and go to Felicia's room and knock on the door and see if she's in.
There is no answer. She doesn't appear to be in.
Okay. Do I still have a key?
You do, yeah.
Okay. Since she said that I should come to her, I'll let myself in. And just go and sit on the bed and kind of wait for her.
The room is very clean. Everything is now put away. You don't see some of your stuff that you had there, but you find it in the wardrobe, all put away on one shelf.
Okay. And with this sort of twisting feeling of being like an intruder, I go and sit down, and I'm kind of sitting and getting into an anxiety spiral waiting for her, and I'm feeling guilty about having left her for so long, and I hope that this is okay, and I'm uncertain about what this is going to be like, but I also need to be close to her.
And you're sitting there with those thoughts, waiting as it gets closer and closer to the dawn. And you and Nina are sitting with Nastya, learning, studying. There is a knock on the door.
Okay.
And you hear, Janina, Bea, are you there? And it's Daniel.
Of course, come on.
And you see him there, we can go in. And you see him walk in with Elka. He's leaning on her shoulder a little bit, looking slightly hurt again.
As soon as I see him hurt, I get up off the bed and I run to him.
He looks to you, looks to Nastya. Sorry to bother you.
You're not bothering. You're home here. And I help him to bed if he lets me.
He does. Elka sort of says, he's not too bad. He's more exhausted than hurt, if that makes sense.
And I nod at her.
She looks to Daniel and says, take a night off tomorrow. Just try to relax and then we'll talk about what to do next. We might have to be here more often. And he says to the folks, okay, I'm fine. I can keep going. Whatever you want. She looks a bit concerned. Glances to you, Janina. Sort of moves her hand through her hair a bit nervously. Kind of pulling on it as it is tied back. Will you be alright here, Daniel? Is there anything you need? She's like, I'm fine. And he sort of moves to lie on a bed, like almost to lie on this shirt, but like is folded there. Clearly not noticing it at all.
I will let it be. I will let him. Like, he will make it dirty anyways.
So he sort of lies on the bed. It's like, yeah, I'll be okay. Thanks. You take care. Don't go do anything without me, you know, he says to Elka. Just take a night off, all right? And looks to you, Janina. Will you take care of him a bit?
Of course I will. I will make sure he relaxes.
Thank you. And then looks to Nastya. Good night, Nastya. And she just says, good night. Good to see you. And Elka leaves.
Too many Bruja in one room.
Yes. 4 Bruja in one room. But Elka leaves now. And there's 3 Bruja in this room.
It's like a start of a joke. So there were three Bruja in one room.
Yeah. So, Nastya is sort of sitting, you know, she kind of is observing, but definitely feeling a bit out of place now.
I'm gonna, like, sit next to Daniel and I, like, checking him if he's, like...
Looks like his shoulder is dislocated.
Can I try and put it back?
Yeah, sure. Roll your... I think, yeah, your medicine and intelligence, yeah. Okay. Difficulty 7 for this.
Lucky for Daniel, I have 4 successes.
Nice. Yeah, no problem. You come up, you grab his arm, and you just snap it back into place. You just like, ow! And then like, oh, thanks.
Of course.
Affectionate manhandling.
And I like stroke his face.
Says, I think I'm gonna go now. I don't want to intrude.
Are you sure? Do you want? Maybe you. I mean, you can spend the night here. Belle's in the other room, and maybe it would make you feel better to stay in a company.
Kind of glances to Daniel, glances to you, glances to Daniel. I think it's okay. I look forward to seeing you again.
Okay. You know where to find me.
Nastya doesn't want to be a third wheel.
unlike Will
Yes.
in Stranger Things.
It was nice to spend some time with you. Thank you.
Yes, I enjoyed it. And please take care of yourself. And if anything happens, please tell me and Bea.
I will.
See you tomorrow.
See you. And she
Good
leaves.
night.
Good night.
I wave to her.
She leaves, leaving you, Daniel, sort of moving and massaging his arm. You're good at this.
Yeah. Well, it's easier with people who are not as fragile as humans. And as
Yeah, I suppose.
Anything else you need to put back in place?
Nah. And you see he's sort of scratched up a bit. There is like a cut on his face and neck, looking like he just scratched himself on something. Let's not get into that. I tried jumping off from something onto something. It didn't go quite as planned.
I get some towels, wet towels from the bathroom, and I'll try to wash the blood out of.
I'm all
his
right.
hands.
I can take a shower tomorrow, or
Oh, that reminds me, and I like push him a bit aside, and I took the shirt. Me and Bea got you a little present. Take good care of it.
you see there is
Give
a
him
little
the
bit of
shirt.
dust on it now from his
Yeah.
coat, but it's still very clean. He looks at it. Subtle.
Yeah.
Sort of grabs it. I haven't had a shirt that clean. I
Well,
don't know, ever. Since my mom dressed me or something.
oh, you know,
Thank you.
Bea couldn't see you in that torn attire.
It's pretty shitty, isn't it?
Well, I think it's
And you
good.
see it is. Like it's not falling apart yet, but it is close to.
Yeah, but I'm used to seeing him like this. So to me, it's not as off-putting like as to Bea, because for me, this is like classic Daniel.
It's held
Maybe-
together by hopes and dreams.
Yeah. So tomorrow, you heard the lady. You are going to have a night off.
Yeah, and wearing new shirts, like
Yeah, you're gonna be a whole new man,
yeah,
and you'll
proper
take a
fucking
shower.
Camarilla.
I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Maybe we could spend some time together.
Could do. Would be nice.
Maybe we could do something relaxing.
I don't want to leave Elka on her own. She seems stressed recently. Doesn't want to tell me why.
Well, I think everyone we meet is somehow on edge. I don't know, maybe it's Camarilla standard. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Or this times it all seems to be. And it all went to shit. It used to be terrible, but not quite so crumbling.
Yeah, and Bea is now in Felicia's room because we met Felicia earlier tonight and she wanted Bea to come back to her. So, I mean, I hope they patch things up somehow.
Or not. I don't know what to hope for there, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of liked having Bea all for myself these past few nights. I don't know, she felt somehow, I don't know, more herself, if it makes sense.
Yeah, I suppose it does. How was your thing? You were supposed to do
Yeah.
something tonight.
Well,
Did you get into trouble again?
it went well for us, worse for someone else, but we are okay.
What happened? Did anyone get hurt?
Oh, yeah, I had to kill a man that was, well, I mean, he was Sabbat member, but he wasn't a kindred. He was, I mean, Bea mentioned he probably was a ghoul, but...
A ghoul is not a Sabbat member.
Yeah, I know, but I couldn't let him go away, so I had to kill him. So that was my evening. Well, aside this, it went all right. And also, well, I'm like considering if I want to tell him about what we heard on the radio about Bea.
Sorry.
Well, something happened on our way back, and I mean, it's Bea's thing. I don't know how she will want to handle this, but...
What happened?
Well, Joachim, the Tremere that went with us, we were driving in a car and there was a radio on, and you know that there is like this program where they tell people's names and their missing loved ones are looking for them.
Yeah, it's all over the city.
Yes.
Newspapers, announcements.
Yeah, so you won't believe who is someone looking for Bea. It's her husband.
Bea has a husband.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well. But I guess that's the thing. So, well, we noted the number for the radio, but I don't know. Bea isn't sure what she wants to do with this information. I mean, this is up to her. This is not my business, so I will support her in any way she will want to deal with it.
Yeah, probably smart.
It's like...
I mean, it could be
what
a
a
way
coincidence.
To get her away from her sire, but then might put the man in danger, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, let's give Bea some time to think it through. I mean, the man is looking for her for so long. I mean, he can wait a few more nights.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, that was definitely a surprise of the night.
If you, well, could also contact it to, bury the whole thing, tell him she's dead or something.
Yeah, I feel
Give
like...
the man some closure.
This is maybe the...
I don't know, that's fucked up too.
I mean, there's a part of me...
I'm beginning to think like them.
Yeah, like there's a part of me that really wants Bea to reunite with her previous life. I mean, for her to maybe, I don't know, maybe it would give her some closure as well. But well, it's her fight, her choice. So this has nothing to do with our society. So, I mean, let's see what she will want to do and let's support her in anything that she's going to choose.
Yeah.
But, there's a part of me that's very curious to see her husband and to find out what kind of person she was before.
Yeah, I mean, I wondered, but I don't know. It's definitely none of my business.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just needed you to tell this because apparently I'm not very good at keeping secrets.
You're terrible at keeping secrets.
Yeah, I know. Everyone is telling me this. But I promise you, I'm not gonna tell you anything about the thing that
you're
I'm
not
gonna
tell me anything about. Just shut up right now. If you're not supposed to tell me, don't tell me.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not telling you.
But I'm worried.
No, don't be. Everything's fine. I hope that we don't have to go to that place again. I mean, it was weird. No, don't ask me. You know, I would spill everything.
It's good that I
What
have
about-
some sense.
What
But
about
it's
your?
dark days when you have to rely on my sense.
Yeah. What about your night?
I got one more shovel head. So you know,
Yeah.
the mother's got away. So, yeah, it's fucked up. It's all fucked up.
I'm really sorry you have to do this.
So am I, that you had to kill somebody.
Well, I really hope that maybe once this threat is over, we can all relax more. I mean, I don't know. I kind of still feel like I don't want to spend my own life in Camarillo, like here in this hotel.
Well, neither did I, and here I am. And he just sort of sighs and, looks really exhausted suddenly from talking.
Come on, let's go to bed. And I will give him a pillow, and I force him to lie down and take care of him like a little baby, even if he protests.
He sort of lets you do it. He sort of lies down and, on the pillow. Meanwhile, Bea, it's getting quite late and Felicia is not returning.
Getting more and more anxious and pent up. I think at one point I start pacing and then stop and kind of twist my hands between them and then sit back down again. And then sort of look to see if there's a clock or anything.
There would be some, and you see it is very close to dawn. It's maybe half an hour or something.
I try and focus and use Eyes of Chaos to see whether she's safe, because I'm worried for her.
That's Perception and Occult. Difficulty 8.
I have 2 successes.
2 successes. So you see her walking towards danger purposefully for a moment. And you see some dangers around her, but not quite touching her.
I write it down in my journal, not quite knowing what to make of it yet. But she's not in
You
immediate...
had 2 successes, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And I just sit there consumed with worry, but glad that she's not in immediate danger. And I think I end up staying there, and if she doesn't return, I stay there until I fall asleep.
And you do fall asleep, because she doesn't return. And you, Janina, fall asleep. In a room with Daniel, having tucked him in to sleep for a day. And I think this is a very good place for a break. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We will be back in about 15 minutes. So please stay with us to continue the story of Janina and Bea and see what happens the next night.
It should be a night off, so I have nothing. But yeah, I can dream.
All right. And welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for staying with us to follow the story of our two kindreds in the ruins of Warsaw. Before we go into the second half, we have a quick announcement. We are having a special extra stream this Thursday. It's going to be a one-shot of The Vampire Next Door, a game where the characters are kids who realize there is a vampire in their grandparents' town, but all the adults don't seem to notice. So it is up to the kids to save the town and gather proofs that, in fact, it is a vampire. It's a very fun game. Faye is going to be there. We have two special guests, which we're really excited about, as I think it's the first one on this channel. So something new is happening. I am also attempting to do something lighthearted and comedic. So yay, that's a thing that you can see on Thursday and assess if I'm any good at that.
I have to watch.
But it was very fun. It's a very fun game, and I hope you will join us to see something slightly different from the Lamias. It is this Thursday. It's going to be 6 p.m. GMT or 7 p.m. British Summer Time, which I believe is 2 p.m. Eastern Time in the US. And the VOD, of course, will be available afterwards. Okay, announcement over. That's happening on Thursday. But for now, let's focus on our standard chronicle.
The gloom.
Yes, with Janina, who is waking up first, as always. Just like previous night, you see that it is earlier than you remember. There is a faint hint of lighter blue still in the sky, although the sun has already set.
I first thought it's like look for Bea because I was used to have her around for the last few nights, but then I remember that she's with Felicia, and then I glance at Daniel.
He's still sleeping.
Sit on a bed, maybe. Just like, and I'm just waiting, glancing towards the door, Daniel, the window, just like passing time.
You're passing time. What are you thinking about as you're passing time? What is the main thing preoccupying you right now?
Well, main thing is probably the thought that I really want some night off and not to do anything like scary or hard for once. So that's like my plans, and because then there is also, of course, I remember the dead man, what happened in the Tremere Chantry, and Nastya. I really want to spend time with her, and I worry about her, and I just feel more at ease when she's around me, because I feel like I could maybe protect her, or that I know that what's happening with her. And then I also think about Bea and maybe like think about what possibilities are there and what Bea will probably choose to do with that information, that she has a husband and that he's looking for her. And maybe there's a like small part of me that thinks how that I would really like to see how it went in the other room, if they made up or not. How's the mood in the other room?
And you pass time with those thoughts until Daniel wakes up, kind of rolling to the other side, and then sitting up on the bed, looking towards you, looking around, kind of sighing.
You feel better? Hey.
I mean, I could bullshit you that I do, but not really. My arm doesn't hurt anymore. That's fine, thank you. But I feel like a piece of shit.
I'm sorry. Let's take it easy tonight. Let's just maybe try to feed and just spend some peaceful time.
Yeah, because that's so peaceful, feeding on people.
Well, that's not what I meant. I meant like not to. I hope that it goes peacefully, that we won't mess it up, and then
yeah, so do I. If
like peace.
if my heart could still beat, feeding with you would give me heart attacks sometimes.
I know. I'm sorry, but I think I'm fine today because yesterday, and there's my enthusiasm a bit slips because I wanted to say that I feel very fat, but then I remember how and why do I feel like this, and I probably don't even finish the sentence.
Because we probably should go feed at some point.
Yeah.
I should put myself back in some kind of shape.
I want to see you in the new. I want to see you in a new shirt, so go shower and then we'll make. I want Bea to see the new you. She needs something to smile about.
I'm afraid it's gonna be same shitty me, but I'm gonna have this new shirt. And he kind of waves it around, swirls it, puts it over his shoulder, and walks into the bathroom.
I love Daniel so much.
And you hear like water in there.
Waiting for him to finish.
Yeah, he doesn't take super long. He comes out. He is wearing the new shirt. It's a little bit loose on him, but not like majorly so. I look fancy.
Yeah, you do. All the ladies in the lounge will be looking at you. And I smirk at him.
Yeah, I don't know if...
Oh, I was obviously joking.
He kind of seems to be going through some people in his head and just going like...
Yeah.
Well, you're a handsome lad. You look good.
Thanks.
Nice to see you clean for once. Let's see how it holds up.
Well, I guess I have night off. Not really sure what to do with that.
Well, you stay with me. Maybe we can figure something out. I also promised Nastya, and we have to fetch up Bea. Are you ready in your new look and to go and sway the hotel with your beauty?
Yeah, never felt more ready. Sway with my beauty. Please don't say that with an earshot of anyone.
Oh, I'm just teasing you.
I know. Still.
Okay, I will try not to.
Place your bets. How long will that fall apart?
So, shall we?
Yeah, let's go check up on Bea. Maybe she's already up.
You know, Bea. You wake up.
I look around a little confused at being alone, and then the hunger hits me.
Yes.
I kind of sit up and glance at my notebook, see that I was waiting for Felicia, and then pause and write her a note saying, I came to look for you, but you weren't here. I'll come back tonight. Love, Bea. And I'll start sort of putting myself together.
And where will you head when you're ready?
I guess I walk out the door and try and figure out where in the hotel I am.
So, Janina, you and Daniel see Bea, sort of looking a bit confused, looking around the corridor.
I will call out to Bea.
Hello.
Hi. And I will, look who has new shirt on.
Yeah,
Daniel
looking.
just goes,
Look at you.
"Thank you."
You're welcome.
No, thanks, really. I mean, she's giving me so much shit about it. Janina. But I appreciate the gesture.
I smile and nod and try and pretend that I know what he's talking about.
What about you? How are you? What did it went well with Alicia?
She didn't come back.
Oh,
I don't think she's in danger, but I think she's near danger.
all right.
I'm worried about her, but I've left her a note, and I'll come back tonight and see if she's back then.
Well, let's hope she's gonna be okay. Let's try to relax and enjoy night out.
I really need to feed.
All right. Yeah, I don't really need to, but as you all always point out, it's better safe than sorry, so I guess maybe we can just check out in the lounge to grab Nastya, because I promised her that maybe she could spend tonight with us.
Should we do that after?
All right, if it's urgent. All right, let's go then.
I guess there's no need to drag her on a feeding.
I know, but
expedition.
maybe she would want it too, but
A crowd draws more attention.
I guess that's right. All right, let's hope it goes well. We don't want to stain Daniel's new shirt.
No.
Right. Yes. Let's go.
Let's go then.
Can you walk out of the hotel? What's your approach? What do you want to do?
I mean-
How do you want to go about this?
I guess just sneaking up on someone, it's the most convenient. It leads to less people remembering me. So I guess finding a dark corner.
Roll wits and alertness. Difficulty 7.
Oh my god, I have 3 successes.
Yeah, you don't even need help, really. You find a corner to wait in.
I let them know what I'm going to do beforehand and to keep an eye out in case. I do pause and then explain that I'm feeling really quite hungry, so I do need someone on lookout in case I lose control.
Of course.
And you see a woman, young, maybe in her early 20s,
Okay.
walk towards you. She seems to not really pay attention. She's kind of upset. Maybe some tears are on her face. But she's just walking straight as it's storming off and into bits of ruins, and you can easily find a place to jump out on her.
Yeah. I'm using obfuscate because that's just safest.
Yeah. Yes, with obfuscate you can sneak up on her with no problem and bite in. Janina, where are you?
I'm watching over Bea.
You're watching, okay.
Yes.
Daniel's watching as well. So you see this young woman that looks upset that Bea just appears and sinks her fangs into. And Bea, roll your self-control. Difficulty is 6.
Let's see how this goes. That would be no successes.
So, you lose yourself in it when you're drinking. Janina, you do notice that it is taking a little bit long.
I will run towards her and try to pull her off. At first, like a bit more like with force, but still like gently.
I mean, just for the sake of things being right, let's roll opposed. Strength, roll, potence, difficulty 6.
Okay.
In case Janina rolls all ones or something.
No, thankfully not. What is the difficulty?
6.
Wow. I have 8 dice and 7 successes, but also one, so
6
6
successes.
successes.
Oh, yeah, like
only
no
6
problem.
successes.
You don't even tire yourself. You basically come up and like pick her up and drag her away. Like with zero effort. There's no resistance at all.
I'm gonna pick up my Malkavian.
6 versus 0.
Yeah, because you didn't botch, you can spend a point of willpower to sort of keep it cool. And but you have to remove yourself from the situation immediately. So do you wish to do that, or do you wish to be in frenzy?
No.
I mean,
you never know. No, I do not wish to be in frenzy. So yes, as soon as I sort of come to and realize, I kind of like back off immediately.
Yeah, I mean, Janina is holding you. You can't really move against her strength.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'm just kind of hanging there.
And you realize what happened, and you feel this need to go back to drink more. You can get 4 points for this, I would say.
Oh, shit. Okay.
For once, it's not me.
I need to go.
All right. You're gonna be fine?
I need to go now.
Okay, I will turn her on the other side and I will release her.
And I move very quickly away from her and kind of round the corner and like lean against a wall while I'm not able to see or smell her anymore. And just kind of...
Do I have to... I will check on the woman with the left.
Roll medicine and intelligence.
And I will lick her wound,
6.
because I guess that didn't.
No.
I panicked.
What was the difficulty?
6.
Okay, 3 successes. 6, 8, and 9.
So she lost like a bit of blood. It's not that she's dying right now, but it is sort of past this safe amount. So she could be fine or she could not. It's hard to tell. Like, you think it would be good to get her, like, at least to have some attention around her.
Yes, I wanted to, like, bring her somewhere where there are more people and to just, like, leave her so she would be, like, quickly found by someone.
Do you want to be stealthy about it?
Yes.
Like, roll your... I think for this, it's less dex and more wits and stealth. Okay. To not necessarily do it quickly, but to assess the situation if someone is coming. Okay. Difficulty 7, you're carrying a person.
Okay, 2 successes. I have 9 and 10.
2 successes. Yeah, so you pick her up, no problem at all. Still going off your amazing roll. Daniel is like sort of moving to help, but then he sees like, oh, you've got it, no problem. And you kind of observe for a moment, and you have to wait a little bit and hide like a bit deeper into rubble for a moment, but you do manage to place her in much more frequented street when no one is there, but soon after you disappear back into a smaller alley, there are a few people coming, and you see they become interested in her.
Okay. And then I'm gonna turn back to Daniel and try to find Bea.
I stayed at the corner that I turned around, and I've just kind of sat down on the ground with my arms wrapped around my knees, sitting there, feeling kind of stupid for messing up, I guess, because I'm normally in better control than that.
She's gonna hopefully be fine. Don't worry about it.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. For once, it wasn't me.
I'm sure it happens to this fancy venture back in the hotel as well. At some point or other.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Thanks for...
Are you feeling better right now?
I guess, just a little embarrassed, but...
There's nothing to be embarrassed. You're monk, your closest people.
Thank you. And thanks for stopping me.
Of course. I'm just doing what you would do, but differently.
I don't think I could pick you up quite as effectively.
Yeah, but you did help me in dangerous situations before. Like in that Shinichi house, where you stopped me from frenzying.
And I am very grateful for that. Says Daniel, sort of looking to you, Janina, with this dread and disbelief.
I'm glad I did that too. I say not remembering the situation, but vaguely. Like, it sounds familiar, but like, I don't think I want to remember that.
Come on, let's go back to the hotel and maybe we can figure out what to do with the rest of our night.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh god, do we have a night off?
Yeah. I don't think we have anything else. I think yesterday when I asked you, you didn't have anything in the journal, and I don't think I have anything else beside promising Nastya catch up with her. And Daniel is also having a night off. Maybe we can pick Nastya up and maybe go to our haven.
Oh, yes. That's a thing that we have.
Maybe Felicia could be also crashing there.
I don't think she has key. In fact, I wouldn't remember that. Never mind.
I don't know. Does she? I don't remember. But she was there with us.
I'm not sure. I don't think she would necessarily.
Okay. But I know that she was there with us, but I don't remember if she has keys or not. But anyway.
Back to the hotel, I guess.
Yeah. Let's go.
So you go back to the hotel. And you head towards the lounge.
Yes.
So you pass, as always, a crowd of people downstairs. Some in a cafe, some heading towards a restaurant, someone playing music. And you head upstairs and you hear also piano music coming from there, but much more emotional, sad and angry, as it usually is when Bruno plays.
I hope they pay him for being the pianist.
And you enter, and you see there is Nastya in the corner, looking at something. There is Cornelia there with Fabian, sitting together at the table. There is Antoni there, and the woman, Jagoda, whom you've met briefly, or maybe Bea just met her. They're talking to each other. There's Diana, sitting with Stefania, the toreador, and Nina. And there is Mihail there, and he's talking to the prince, and everyone is looking at them.
Spicy.
Yeah. And you hear him very audibly say, you have the strength I have grace and beauty, would make a beautiful couple, Katya. I'm offering my hand, you just need to take it. And he's stretching his hand towards her. And you see Joachim has entered now as well. Sort of standing there with you. Raises his eyebrows a little bit.
I do the same thing.
I'm probably like trying to contain my disgust.
And you see the prince, Katarzyna Hutkiewicz. Look at Mihail with a sort of calm expression, and then glance around, and her eyes stop for a moment, sort of where you entered, where you're standing with Joachim, and then continue around the room. And she looks back to Mihail, and she reaches towards his hand with her both hands. And she doesn't quite take it. She embraces it with both her palms. And very gently pushes it away towards him and towards his chest. And she says, I do not think we are quite suited for each other, my dear Mihail. But I don't doubt our friendship. You can be sure of that. Mihail, if you wanna, I don't know, roll anything.
Sure. I would love
to. What do you wanna do?
I just like to read expressions. I'm not using anything supernatural.
Sure. Roll your perception and empathy then.
Oh my god. Does insightful apply?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm gonna need some more d10s.
You don't need to roll again. You count double. The tens
do they?
are double.
Oh,
yeah.
I've been doing this wrong then.
No. When you have a specialty, the tens are just 2 success. Each 10 counts as 2.
I'm getting muddled between V5 and V20. Anyway.
Oh no.
Okay. That's 7 successes.
7 successes.
Wait,
Okay.
sorry, was it difficult 6 or 7?
Difficulty was 6. Yeah.
Okay, in which case, 8 successes. My bad.
Okay. That's amazing. Let me just make one more roll.
That's very curious about this.
Before.
What is love?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
Musical interlude.
Okay. So you had how many?
8.
8.
A ludicrous number.
Can't
do it for self-control. Can do it for insight checking the prince and the Toreador provision.
Yeah, your priorities are
as well. Right. So you can see. You're not quite sure what Mihai was thinking. You can't tell. But with the prince, you see that she was. Like, she already knew, but she sort of took her time to think through it once again. And you notice, like, almost, not necessarily hesitation, but almost this, I hope this is the right move. Right? Get in there.
Okay.
Like taking a gamble. When she was looking around the room. And for now, that's what you see. But you also see it's not like, rejection out of disgust or anything when she calls him dear. There is genuine there is some warmth there as well.
Okay.
But also very careful consideration.
Mm-hmm.
That the warmth doesn't really enter into at all.
Okay.
Mihail, his hand against his chest, clutches with the other. You break my heart, Katya. I might just wither away into ash, and that's going to be the end of me. And he's sort of smiling and sort of making this exaggerated hurt expression. And you see the prince smile with, and what you think is genuine amusement at that. But also, her eyes remain focused, and you see a hint of warning in there. And she says, you worry me. If you're feeling really unwell, I might send someone to take care of you and watch over you. I wouldn't want such a terrible fate to befall you. And he gives sort of mock bow. I wouldn't want to abuse your generosity. I won't impose on you, Katya. You know I'm not that kind of man. Please have a pleasant rest of the night.
Entertainment
she
for
says,
the whole lunch.
You as well, Mihail. And he sort of still, he kind of goes in this very exaggerated way and almost faints onto his chair and is like...
So dramatic.
Yeah. He had such problems with Mara, but basically he's her.
Stefania. How am I going to ever survive it? But he's not speaking so loudly and so visibly to everyone, although it is definitely meant to be heard. You see at this moment also, even earlier, when the prince refuses, Fabian leans towards Cornelia and whispers something into her ear. And she's sort of nodding her head and watching very intently the whole scene.
It's like high school.
It is.
And you see Prince then turns to talk to Jagoda and Antoni.
I think at this point I now sort of look to Janina and Joachim and Daniel and sort of, should we keep going in? We should maybe sit down.
Yeah.
It's getting a bit old.
I'm going towards Nastya.
Yeah. Joachim says, yeah, let's come in. I think what was meant to happen happened.
Indeed. That was certainly interesting.
He looks to you. Yes, it was. And gives you a very sort of intense stare for a moment.
I slightly raise my eyebrows at him in a sort of acknowledgement and then I carry on into the room.
You carry on into the room. Is there anyone you want to speak to?
Well, if
I know Janina is heading towards Nastya.
I'll maybe wave to Cornelia, but I'm not going to interrupt her again. I've interrupted her evenings with Fabian more than enough. So I'll sort of wave to her.
He waves at you.
And not to Antoni, but I presume he's pretty focused on speaking to the prince.
Yeah, they are focused on speaking to the prince. Right
yeah, that's fair.
You see actually Eliza is there and Rahela as well.
I'll maybe head towards them then.
Head towards them, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, Janina, you join Nastya.
Yeah. What about Daniel? Is he coming with me, or
he's sort of standing there looking, and he's gonna stick with you.
Okay.
He's kind of looking towards Nina, and she kind of looks towards him and glances at, like, just very faintly at Mihail and Stefania, and turns back to them. And he sort of doesn't sigh, but you see him sort of shake his head a little bit.
Nerds and jokes. Don't.
So he comes with you. And then he sort of hesitates. It's like, do you want me to fuck off?
Of course, no. Of course I want you to stay.
If you want to talk to her, I can,
Just
fuck
stay.
off.
Don't fuck off. You're sticking with me tonight. Come join us.
I mean, to the other part of the room.
I know, but I have no problems.
I see Nastya is looking at you, and she evidently heard some of it and is smiling a bit amused.
And I will tug his shirt, and I will slowly push him towards so he didn't leave. Come sit with us. You can sit with us.
On Wednesday,
so he comes. Hi Nastya, I'm officially invited to be the third wheel.
At least
good evening to you. And she says, so she sort of kind of doesn't know how to respond for a moment, and then it's like, yeah, hi, you're not. I mean, just come sit, we can chat.
Yeah.
Hi, Janina.
Hi. So, how are you?
I'm alright. It was nice to spend some time with you.
Yeah.
It was pleasant.
We can do it tonight again. We don't have anything else planned. We can do something fun, not just translating. Maybe we can just relax.
Sure, of course. But it was fun for me. I like being able to help you.
Of course. I mean, it is. It is fun, but it's good to sometimes do something else.
I suppose. What do you want to do?
I don't know. Maybe we can. Is Dominic here? Or do I think
No, Diana is here.
Okay.
And she often spends time with him upstairs.
Okay. Maybe we could visit Dominic, the Nosferatu. He dances and performs lovely things upstairs.
Oh, that would be lovely.
And I look at Daniel. Will you join us?
Well, isn't he like, yeah, sure, why not? Apparently I'm not allowed to leave or something.
Well, I promised to take care of you tonight, so you are going to do fun stuff.
You're one of the worst people to like. No, that's unfair, but.
Come on, you're gonna have
Okay, I'll come, but I'm not really into dancing and fancy arts, and it's not my stuff.
Mine isn't either, but at least it's away from, and I lower my voice from most of these people.
And Nastya says, "Oh, well, I think it would be nice to see someone dance."
Yeah, it's very good. He's amazing. I mean, maybe we can. And I glance towards Bea, what she's doing.
And Bea, meanwhile, you join. Hela and Elisa. Bruno continues playing. He's the only one who didn't interrupt what he was doing.
Fair enough.
Mihai were talking.
I respect his dedication to the arts.
And they glance to you. Rahela sort of waves. Hi, nice to see you, Bea.
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm alright. And Elisa says, I'm alright as well.
Glad to hear
Good evening.
It's good to see you. Well, that was dramatic.
Elisa looks to, well, I guess it was meant to be.
Mm. Busy outside of witnessing local gossip?
Rahela says, I'm trying to... Well, I spent some more time with Leonard. I tried to get him to go out. He's really stressed. He didn't want to come out tonight.
If I can do anything.
Something is coming, but then he's been saying it for so long now. I didn't want to push him. He seemed really scared.
That's fair. And I pause as the sort of bad feeling sort of bubbles up in my stomach.
Elisa says, I'm alright. Thank you. Here, as I am meant to be.
Can I try and read her expression when she says that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's yeah, it's perception empathy. I don't know why I suddenly froze on that.
That's okay. To be honest, I doubt it's going to be as dramatic as last time, but we'll find out. Yeah, I can promise you it's nowhere near as dramatic as last time.
Difficulty is 6.
4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. So you see there is a bit of a determination as she says it. Okay. And you see that she is tense and she is not alright. She seems worried about something and tense. But she's putting on a decent facade. Okay.
If you ever need anything, let me know.
I remember that. Thank you.
Of course. And I sort of glance around the room. Where is Joachim gone in all of this?
You see Joachim is, at this moment, actually I think he'll be chatting to Diana.
Okay.
And he seems very at ease, and she's telling him something, and Mikhail sort of moved on to observing everyone now, or maybe listening on their conversation. Joachim just sort of sits next to Diana and is talking. And she smiles at him.
Fair enough. As I'm sort of observing the room, I feel this sudden, well, not sudden, but this lingering feeling that I get quite a lot of the times when I want to interact with others, where I don't know what to ask them and I don't know how to interact with them in a more meaningful way. I almost don't know how to make the connections with other people since I can't remember details about them or their interests.
You guys meet with Janina, who's also looking for you at this moment.
I smile at her.
I smile back.
Rahela says to you, Ben, how are you doing?
I'm alright. Just got a night off for once, so, you know.
Yes, you do so much.
I try and keep busy, I guess.
It's good. Yeah.
It's easier than stopping, I guess. And I'd look around the room again.
I suppose so. You look around the room. Anything in particular you're looking for?
It's more with this sort of sense of uneasiness and not, and almost feeling awkward in the conversation. Wanting to connect to these two people. I'm trying to keep it hidden.
Alright, roll your manipulation and subterfuge.
Okay. I'm not convinced I'm doing a fantastic job of that.
Difficulty 6.
Okay. That, after all the ones, is one success.
Oh, wow.
I had a decent number of
successes, plenty of ones.
Rahela looks to you and says, you don't have to be so tense around us. We like you already.
I'm glad to hear that. So,
I'm glad you're here. You're, well, one of those I brought to the Camarilla. So, that's something.
good to know it wasn't a poor decision on your part.
Yes.
I do give her a sort of genuine laugh at that.
We can just relax and listen.
I appreciate that. And I do slightly relax. And look around the room and glance at the prince, sort of take... the prince is still here? She's talking to...
Yes, the prince is still here. And she is talking to still Jagoda and Antoni. But as you glance, she actually finishes the conversation and you see them bow slightly. Or like quite deeply. Actually, both of them. And she starts heading, she kind of glances towards you. And your eyes meet. And she starts heading in your direction.
Oh God.
I leave Bea alone for a moment.
When she'd been finishing her conversation, my eyes sort of lingered on Antoni for a moment and then went back to the prince and then suddenly registered she was walking towards me. And there's this moment of, right, and sort of mentally prepared myself for that. And as she approaches, I will bow to her.
As you do. And at this point, Hela and Eliza sort of step away a little bit.
Okay.
Not like, that they run, but they sort of leave the space.
Yeah, just watching it from afar, just...
you notice it.
Question: Can I remember that she's the prince? Was that mentioned in the room? Because I think I've only met her once, at least in recent memory.
I don't think it was just mentioned.
Okay.
So, do you think Bea would remember? I think that's up to you.
I think she knows that she's important, but doesn't know exactly how and has registered the way people have bowed to her. I might spend that last dot of willpower to force through it because I don't want to mess this up if I know she's important. So
she is important. Yeah, that's obvious, like from even observing people acting around her and everyone.
Yeah,
so I'm observing what she's up to.
I push through, remember who she is, and then go, oh, thank God, and then go into full formal court mode.
And she comes up to you and she smiles slightly, but warmly.
My prince.
Miss Wozniak.
I trust that you're well.
I am indeed. I trust you are settling in well.
Yes, thank you.
I heard you are doing good work for the Primogen.
Yes. It's good to be productive.
I'm glad to see you've settled in so well.
Thank you, my prince.
Keep it up.
Of course. Now bow to her again.
And she gives you a bit more of a smile. And then she wishes you good night, good evening, and moves away.
Janina sighs.
And you do see, actually, all your perception and all that.
Okay.
7, see if you see that.
I have 1 success.
You do. So you actually do see it. So you see at this moment, sort of the corner of your eye, where Eliza and Hela were standing. You see Eliza sort of turns up a bit, and Hela squeezing her hand. And Eliza kind of steps in and starts walking towards the prince, but you see this moment of tension and exchanging glances, and Hela nodding her head. And Eliza comes up to the prince, and you hear her. She's bowing, saying, "My prince, may I speak with you?" And the prince replies, Mrs. Leszczyńska, of course. Always. And she starts heading out of the room, and Elisa follows her.
Okay. I'll sort of glance to Rahela, like, with more concern than curiosity.
Rahela is sort of looking at them until they leave the room, and then she starts looking around again and notices you looking. And
Is everything all right? I'm not trying to pry, just, is she all right?
she glances around the room. I hope she will be. But she's not. It's not that kind of trouble.
Okay. I'm sorry that she is having some kind of trouble. And if there's anything I can do to help, I do genuinely want to. So.
I love Lynn's story, so maybe we can talk about it later.
Okay.
Somewhere else. But I don't know if I should maybe ask her first.
Of course. Well, I'll give her the room numbers that we tend to stay at. If I'm not here later, then I'll probably be in one of those 2 rooms.
Thank you.
Of course. And then I sort of glanced over to Janina.
Janina, you were sitting. Nastya starts talking, but she asks you a bit more about Dominic and what he's dancing, and I guess you say as much as you remember.
Yeah.
But she mentions liking and enjoying ballet, and she reminisces a bit about seeing some performances. She seems very knowledgeable and learned as she speaks. Daniel is just looking pretty bored.
Oh no.
He's trying to stay polite-ish, but he's also not entirely hiding it.
Yeah, okay. So when Prince leaves the room and I see that Bea is, well, not alone, but not preoccupied anymore, then I will maybe look at Nastya and Daniel and tell, shall we go visit Dominic? Maybe then, and I look at Daniel, maybe then we can do something more fun that is up your alley.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Come on. And I will get up and start walk towards Bea with Daniel and Nastya hopefully following.
So
Nastya will follow you. Daniel also will he put hands in pockets of his trousers and sort of follow.
Slowly collecting a little flock of kindred. I smile at them again.
You alright?
You alright?
Yeah. We were thinking about visiting Dominic if he's upstairs. Do you want to join us?
Sure. I'll glance to Rahela.
Oh, and I glance at Raquel. If you want to, you can as well. We are having a night off.
I'll wait for Elisa.
All right.
At least for now.
Okay.
Maybe we'll join you later.
Sure, of course. You're always welcome with us. You can sit with us. You can not sit with us.
I don't think Janina is quite that cool in
No.
Elysium.
I know. I was just I remember that line. And...
Mikhail is Regina George.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you're heading out.
Well, I'm glad that everyone here is familiar with Mean Girls.
So, you're heading to meet Dominic and hang out with him, right?
Well, if he's there, yes, we are going to check.
Oh, yeah.
Bea has no idea who he is. It's let's go see Dominic. Okay.
Right. So you're following along. Janina, you remember the way. So you go upstairs, go into one of the service corridors, go upstairs again, and you go to the highest floor of the hotel, to an attic that hasn't quite been renovated yet. And there is a door which is partially open right now. It's not all wide open, but
I will knock and then open, wait for a moment and then open.
So you hear, come in. And you see Dominic, he's been just stretching, not quite dancing, but practicing some movement. And he turns very gracefully and looks to all of you. Well,
I brought you in our audience today.
I can certainly see that. He looks to Nastya and Daniel. I don't believe we had the pleasure of Dominic Savitsky.
This is my sire, Daniel.
Hi, I'm Daniel. Sorry, I'm having a night off. And I don't want to impose. And he's like, oh, not at all. You're very welcome. And Nastya says, Nastya, lovely to meet you. I believe I've seen you around in the Elysium, says Dominic. And he glances and almost slightly winks to you, Janina. I actually just does that. Yeah. Well, I guess we're going to have a performance then. Diana should join me later tonight. She's been writing some new music, wants to practice it.
Yeah.
She's supposed to have a recital, and I would quite like to dance.
Yeah, right now she's busy with the Storytellers.
Well, I suppose she's trying to maintain good relations with her clan. I can't say I'm doing that myself. Well, I'm maintaining.
You really missed something up there, down there. Mikhail proclaimed his love for the prince very dramatically, and she rejected him politely, and he was very dramatic about it.
Oh, darling. I hope you realize love has absolutely nothing to do with any of this.
Of course I know. But he made it seem, I know it was all fake, but it was a
very calculated decision on her part.
I expect it would be. Well, interesting times. So she said no.
Well, I guess she's smart.
I think she looked around the room and took a gamble.
I was thinking she might say yes. But then again, what do I know? I don't really take much interest.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it certainly was entertainment for everyone.
Janina. I assure you, most people there weren't looking at it as entertainment at all. But I'm glad you had fun. I'm sure Mihai would appreciate your appreciation of his performance. And he gives you a smile, sort of.
I think it was embarrassing, but...
I slowly put my face into my hand.
So, what are you up to?
Well, waiting for my beloved to be free, and he is very busy.
Yeah. He wasn't in the lounge, right?
No, he wasn't there. And practicing. Diana, as I said, wrote some music I want to dance to. I'm working on a choreography.
Oh, that's nice. Maybe you can give us a teaser.
I plan to, as soon as she's here.
Right. And I will probably sit somewhere
And what are you all up to? Any juicy gossip?
I relate everything.
What do you relay exactly? Because that's,
No, I mean, like Janina said that she relate everything interesting.
Oh,
that she
you
was
said that. He kind of looks to you and glances to Nastya. I'm not so sure about that.
I want to read his expression.
Roll perception and empathy.
I'm doing a lot of that tonight.
Yeah.
I want to read the room. I've not done that so far. I've not registered it yet.
Difficulty 6.
Okay, I'm on a roll tonight. It's not as good as earlier, but it is 5 successes.
All right, yeah. So you see that he's like, there is a little bit of, he feels that he needs to entertain you all since you all showed up here, and he didn't quite expect this crowd
That's
to
fair.
stumble into his room. And you see he's interested in like what's going on between Janina and Nastya, and he's definitely teasing Janina about that. Maybe Nastya slightly to see how she responds. And there's some playfulness there. Nothing mean.
Yeah.
More like playful, and there is some hope for something good coming out of it. Like, he's good intentioned in all this.
I now end up looking between Nastya and Janina and a sort of, what's happening? Have I missed something? And then, but I have no memories, so I file that away and will quietly apologize for all of us showing up unannounced, and sort of barging in.
He says, "Come on, Janina. You brought so many friends. I'm sure you brought some tales to tell as well."
Well, my tales are usually with a bad ending, so I guess I don't want to sour everyone's mood. I mean, most of the people here already know everything, so I don't know. What would you like to know? I mean...
Well, there's some things that I don't want to pry. Maybe we can speak later.
Yeah, of course.
In private.
Sure. And what about you? Any news to share?
Oh, I don't have any news except what I already told you. I don't really get myself involved in current events much.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. When you have a choice to distance yourself from it.
Well, I'm lucky in that, I suppose.
Yeah. Are you having protection? And I wink at him back.
Gives you a smile. I think I'm as safe as I can be.
Yeah.
Daniel is looking to you, Bea, just sort of.
I also glance back to him and sort of, I don't know what's happening. I'll sort of quietly lean over to him and go, "Are you as lost as I am?" Oh, sorry. Didn't quite
He's sort of mouthing off, like, "Can we go?" Not quite saying it.
Well,
and he spent a little bit of time like that.
I mean, if Diana doesn't like come like in 10-15 minutes, then I will maybe like say that we can come up later when she's here, so we didn't like...
she does come maybe in like 20 minutes, so you would have
20 minutes of awkwardness.
I'll have tried to chat to Daniel a little bit.
I don't think it's quite awkward. Like, he is friendly with you.
Mm-hmm. He asked you to show up more, and you did.
Yeah. He
He's
didn't
sort
expect
of like he seems surprised. He's kind of letting Daniel and Bea be, since they're not really in this conversation. And then Nastya actually asks him about that, like Janina mentioned he dance, and they start talking about ballet at some point. And
Yeah, Janina doesn't know anything about it, so she lets them talk, and she just like waits and just checks everyone that she
they
brought.
offer like some explanation that this was like a performance there, and this was this very famous dancer, and this is this very famous ballet and all that. And so they try to include you as much as they can. And you can see he is enjoying the conversation. So it's not awkward, really. It's maybe awkward for Daniel and Bea.
I mean, I'll turn to Daniel partway through, and after a moment, go, I have been meaning to ask, how did you and Janina meet?
Well, there's quite a tale. She helped me. She helped me escape Sabbat.
Yeah, that sounds like Janina.
Yeah, she was immortal then, and she had no way of knowing, I suppose. She helped me hide and caused enough of a stare around for them to fuck off, thinking it's not worth the trouble to look for me. And well, I guess it was lucky they didn't slaughter everyone there, but I fucked off. I didn't want to impose on her, to draw her into this shit, but then I sort of was curious and she got in trouble, and I helped her, and
well, it sounds like nothing's changed. I'd say with an amused look.
No, I suppose it doesn't. Do you think people can change much?
It's a little hard for me to say.
True, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I guess from my perspective, yes. It's changing for me is easy because, I don't know, there's not much from before. I don't know what it's like for you.
I wonder what I'm becoming through this existence. I'm not sure I like that.
I think Janina's said similar things. Part of me is, I don't know.
I'd like to think that there is a part that stays you, somewhere deep down, always. But I don't know. Or maybe what comes out is really you. Maybe all the worst things are really you.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think that we're all blood and death and monsters. I think that we're complicated.
Yeah, we are, I guess.
And there are good parts of us as well.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I suppose it's all true in a way. I've just been wondering.
Are all humans totally good and innocent?
No, humans suck. They're shit. And we're even shittier.
But they have their moments.
I guess. I just wonder.
I don't know.
I'd like to think, it's not all shit. Looking at the world, it's not that much it has going for it.
I think that there's hope.
And it gives you a curious look at this point. And then says, I hope you're right.
Cities can be rebuilt. We can't
get back the people that we've lost, but we can try to work to making a better future.
Yeah.
That's
if we
what
can agree on what better is.
True enough. Less Sabat, I guess. Less of whatever that nonsense is.
On that, I think we can agree.
To a future with less Sabat.
I'd drink to that. That's kind of macabre when you're asked.
True enough. Well.
And around this time, Diana enters.
Surprise, Diana! You've got an audience too.
And she's kind of surprised. And like, oh, didn't quite expect to find you all here.
Terribly sorry to impose.
Well, Dominic says, Janina brought us a whole audience. Diana sort of hesitates a little bit, but then, yes, oh, well, I guess you're going to hear my new composition before many others do.
Again, I'm sorry for imposing. I say very apologetically.
You're not. Are you alright to dance, Dominic? And he says, of course, I wouldn't miss it, especially with such a crowd. And you see Diana takes out some of musical notation, kind of glances it over again, and places it in front of herself, although she kind of also clearly goes for something in her memory. Takes out her violin, tunes it for a moment, and then starts playing. And the melody is very sad. It's not as sad and angry as Bruno's. It's more melancholy, almost a lament, sadness running through it. And you see Dominic starts dancing. And he's moving, almost like he's weightless, jumping and landing soundlessly, twisting and moving his body to the tunes. Nastya is looking, focused, and she smiles at you, Janina, as she does, and then continues looking. Daniel is sitting and sort of looking, and he looks a bit confused, but still intrigued. How about you, Janina?
Oh, I'm enjoying it. Maybe I think about Mara when I see him dance, because it reminds me the times when she was here dancing with him. So there's maybe a bit of like sadness in me, but when Nastya smiles at me, it makes me feel a bit better.
I'm also reminded of Mara, but I can't remember her name or her face. I remember someone dancing. I remember watching her, but there's this sort of aching, knowing that someone's missing, someone should be here and they're not. And with the lament, I kind of lose myself watching the motions and listening to the sad tune, and it kind of resonates through me. I'm almost crying.
And Diana continues to play, very focused, very calm and deliberate. This really almost painful, full of sadness melody, and Dominic continues to dance. See, his movements are partially like he's underwater. He bends in the ways that don't seem quite possible, but he still manages it and keeps his balance. And then some of it resembles almost crawling in the air. And his dance is also sad and painful. There's a longing there. There's some loss and pain, and also lament and sadness. Janina, you feel Nastya reach for your hand.
I will squeeze her hand.
She squeezes it back.
Or
What
maybe
are you thinking?
Look at her, smile at her.
She looks at you and smiles.
Well, I feel like it makes me happy that she likes it, and that it's something that also reminds me of Mara, and that she also likes it. It's like this sort of, I don't know how to express it, but that feeling of familiarity with her, and that there is maybe something of Mara. I mean, not in their personalities, but maybe in their hobbies. Something like, I don't know, it makes me feel good, and I enjoy the touch of her hand. And I'm glad that it was her that reached out to me, and it wasn't me.
Daniel's just sitting there, sort of looking a bit lost in thought and tired. Bea, you're lost in thought as well.
I'm just enjoying, well, I'm lost in the performance, and I don't think I've ever quite seen anything like this that I can remember, certainly.
It is really beautiful, both the music and the dance. And Diana continues to play, and then continues to dance, his movements becoming progressively more full of, well, expression of pain, more almost unnatural in a way. There's something disturbing there, but it still fits in this sadness, longing, and lament vibe of the whole performance. And you're all watching, enjoying the beauty of it, enjoying the company. And I think this is a good time to end for tonight.
Well, look at me. I made a cultural evening for our group.
Yes. Thank you so much for playing.
Thank you
so
for
much.
running.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much to everyone who's been watching. We really appreciate that you continue to follow this story with us. We will be back in 2 weeks, which will be on the 21st of June. It will be the same time. It's 6:30 British summer time, which I think is 5:30 GMT. And we also have a one-shot of The Vampire Next Door, a much more light-hearted comedic game about kids taking on a vampire in a quaint English village. So if you want to see me try to run something like that, and Faye and our two guests give very cool performances, please join us on Thursday. That will be 6 p.m. GMT, 7 p.m. British Summer Time. We hope to see you again with us on this channel. And thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you on
Good
Thursday
night.
or in 2 weeks. Bye.